somehow, Katie, you found your meaning, right?
Yeah, in every job I've had, like someone's like, "You're just so lucky that you've liked your jobs." I'm like, I don't think it's luck. Like, I think that if you truly love helping people, no matter what job you're in, people need you for something. That's why your business exists.
Right.
So when I was there, one of the things if you don't recall, I said to you is, people are going to look at you and go, I'm just not Katie. Like, you came out of the womb with like happy sauce, not realizing that it's a choice and you have to work. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like this.
Yeah, definitely.
They make a bunch of presumptions about your mindset. Like, I'm not a Katie. I'm not like her. Not realizing that you made the choice and you make the conscious choices to create and sustain. And I think that's the power in that people are missing, that they don't, I mean, it's like, it's, you live on earth too. Like, you're not immune to what's going on. Yeah. You just find the opportunities to look for the good too, and to find meaning in whatever you do.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yes.
There wasn't joy every day in waitressing. I mean, there were some moments where I had to choose to love that job. Same thing with my job now. Not every day's perfect, but there's an opportunity in every day.
What did Sean Acor said in one of his books, or quote from one of his books, was, you can't, being a rational optimist is, not sugarcoating the present, or ignoring the present and what might not be, quote unquote, I'm butchering that quote. I do not know it word for word, but what you do does matter. Like, you can change, from that mindset, but you can't sugarcoat. Like, if it's not a great experience right now, that it's okay that it's not a great experience, but it doesn't mean that we can't change the outcome of that experience, which is so real. And then too, back to the point of like, I don't know what that quote is, but if I find it, I'll say.
We should invite Sean. We'll invite Sean to our next.
Can we just pull him in? Yeah. Devin, you got his pager, right?
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, it's essentially right. So I think people have this like false dichotomy. Like, they think happy people don't feel. Like, we're not like, we feel all the same stuff that you do. We don't discount that it hurts or it's emotional or a struggle. We just don't want to stay there.
Yeah,
we have
exactly.
a choice, right? I mean, happiness doesn't mean we don't have any problems. It means we feel like we can be okay regardless of the problems, or we can do something about the problems.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like you keep complaining about the weather. Like, go get an umbrella. Go get another coat. Like, I don't need you to remind me that it's cold in Wisconsin. Like, we know that.
Right.
Like, so, like, you know what I mean? And those kind of people, like, well, like, it gets frustrating sometimes to realize that.
It does.
And I think it's that whole lens, like where he does talk about the lens for which you view the world. And yeah, I mean, you can talk about how it's raining every day, or you can talk about that you do have a coat to protect yourself from the rain or whatever. I mean, finding gratitude in those moments. And I think that's what I learned so much from
so how
Sean's book.
How do you balance that and not make it seem like to the person you're interacting with that you're ignoring the not so good moments? Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes someone will talk about an issue or a problem or something, that isn't inherently feeling good, right? And I think sometimes we have, I think there's a balance, right? And correct me, like, if I'm not presenting this right, but there's a balance where you let them, right, kind of talk about what issue it is, and spin that optimism around it without also discounting how they're feeling in that moment. Like, how do you balance that with, and I don't know, I'm always constantly going back and forth, and I'll be talking to different people and interacting, and that's oftentimes some of the pushback I'll get. I'm like, oh, well, you know what? I'm not actually discounting you know what you're thinking because it's valid, right?
Yeah.
I'm just also adding in and sprinkling in some, some sugar on it. But it's, I don't want them to feel like their points are invalid either. I'm always fighting back and forth. Go ahead, Katie. Yeah.
That's the moment where you draw on other positive emotions. I think when you sprinkle joy on it, it can seem like that. But if you sprinkle hope on it, or how Kim said, gratitude for something, that those are different positive emotions that can help the situation. Because you're right. If you sprinkle joy on everything and it's like, yes, it's only, minus 20 degrees in Wisconsin today. Yeah, that seems a little like you're a crazy person. But if if you come at it from, I'm grateful I have a coat, I'm hopeful it's going to warm up next week. I think that there's different positive emotions you can draw from that make your feedback more genuine, not just sugarcoating.
Yeah. I feel that.
I think too, I started my professional career in politics. So I was writing back to people who were complaining to their legislator, basically. And my boss was really good about relating to them, understanding their concern in a way of yeah, I totally get where you're coming from. Here's kind of where we want to go though. So it was almost yep, I see it. I see your problem. I see the issue, or I see your concern. But then here's how we want to move forward in a more positive way. So I think, I don't know, I take a lot of that experience with me in this too.
Yeah.
That's good. I'll say this. So I don't think most people understand where thoughts come from. We're not born with thoughts. They're based on experiences. So, depending on how you grow up, depending on who you surround yourself with, helps develop your belief system.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the reason I say that is, so if someone to me comes in well, I don't understand, you always seem so upbeat. Well, let me explain, I'll take them to a place. I think that's why Brene Brown's work is so powerful to me on the vulnerability. Because don't show me a superhero. I can't connect to that. I wasn't valedictorian. I wasn't the king of the court. Take me to a place when you didn't believe, when you struggled, and tell me how you got out of that place, and I can connect to that. So if you take me to that place and show me what you do when you have those dark moments and how you have to struggle on the things you do, like Katie said, maybe write down with your gratitude. Maybe Kim works out. Maybe Corey spends time with his family. Whatever modality you use when you have those dark places, I think it provides context to people to go, oh, you mean, okay. So what you're saying is it's a choice, but there's some things. And I think where most people miss the mark on this, they get the what, I'm better when I feel better, positive, but they miss the how, which is Katie, so tell me what you do. How do you parent? What conversations do you have? How do you do performance reviews, or how do you for the front of the classroom? And I think that's what you kind of start to show people that, because I don't know about you, and I don't want to keep talking. I didn't get the secret sauce to happiness when I was young. There was no Mr. Miyagi or no Obi-Wan Kenobi or some guy in Star Wars who's oh, here you are, young child. Here's the secret to bliss, right? We didn't get it. And so I laugh at that, but how many thousands of hundreds of millions of people are just like us who didn't get the conversation too? And so I think this is why this work is so powerful, that you can start to influence people just having these conversations and sharing. This is what I do.